Hi there, I just want to try and do a video, and I think, obviously I do these videos as soon in the morning, as soon as I get up, and I don't think about what I'm going to speak about because I like it to be natural. I like people to think that, or to be aware that I'm not, going over lines or something. It's all natural. It all started from a spiritual awakening, unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24. And, I'm just passing the message on. And I think I want to dive in and talk about perception. When I woke up this morning, this was in my head, perception. And this is a very important thing to talk about. Perception is your reality. For example, when I had this spiritual awakening, that's a very divine experience. Everyone says, well, listen to 432, don't listen to 440. But I had my spiritual awakening, my unexpected spiritual awakening, and awakenings ever since, every day ever since, when I was listening to 440 music. So it's not really true, is it? There's a lot of things that is said in the spiritual community that isn't right. It's just people trying to make money. It's just rubbish. It's just crap. They try to just say things to get you to come on board, but it's not real. It's just a bit like my mum when she used to do the psychic fairs. When I was about 5 and 6, and my mum being around psychics at that age and people of that nature, and there was people that were just not real, and the same in the spiritual community. It attracts them kind of people. The spiritual community attracts all the needy people, and they do a Reiki course and think that they're like some enlightened being or something. But healing is not as straightforward as that. It's not a course. Healing and ascension, and awakening and ascension and healing is a long process. These people want to get to Z without, starting on A. Start talking about perception, but perception is manifest your reality, and these people's perception that I'm talking about is a crazy one. They have no idea, because they've not had that big awakening, that big spiritual awakening. They don't actually realize the inward work that is needed. Because within us, you ask any psychologist, any hypnotist that knows what he's doing or is doing, they'll tell you that everything manifests from the subconscious. So this is why we have to go within, you see. Because no separate healer knows your subconscious problems, and even if they did, and they came along and miraculously healed you, what's that telling you? That's then poisoning your subconscious mind even more. That's telling you that you're not good enough to heal yourself, that you're not good enough all by yourself, and this is extremely self-destructive. Remember, what you tell your brain and what you tell yourself inwardly manifests itself in your reality, like I was saying about perceptions. And we all self-suggest, sometimes not consciously, but everything you think is a self-suggestion in its own right. So this is very important. This is why these people that say that they can heal you, or they do some with their hand, I can miraculously heal you, these people are not real. They're just lying, and for them it's all about attention, it's all about them, and it's not about the person wanting the healing. They have no compassion. And this is the way it is. These kind of people have no compassion for other people. They're narcissistic, actually. There's a lot of narcissistic kind of personalities that get involved in this field because of the attention that you get. When I had this awakening, I was brought up at age of 6 and 7 being around psychics and stuff, I wasn't going to be interested in, being in psychic fairs and events at that age. I'm not going to be interested in going in this kind of field. And this was completely unexpected. I didn't know what was going on for a while, and then, worked out, I found out. And ever since then, it's been I get relentless awakenings all the time. Relentless new knowledge, new insights, and all the time. I'm always meditating, always in meditation, always channeling, always doing that. And that's what the awakening did. It just showed me the way. And like I've said about awakening is simply, it's an internal thing. Like I was saying, it's an inner healing thing. Anyone can do it. It's just that the reason a lot of people that have been depressed seem to have had it is because when you're depressed, you're put into a corner. You're put into a corner, you're put in a situation where, like an animal cornered. Something's going to happen. And then what happened to me, I started to look inward. I started to go with the animal instinct. Now, when you're doing a lot of healing, you realize that this animal instinct is leading you to, once you've healed a lot, this is how you interact with tantric energies and life force creation energies of God. And this is how it's accessed, by going within yourself. You have to face your own problems. Ascension is cold, it's hard, there's no shortcuts. You're not going to jump in an ice bath and just escape all the healing that needs done, or someone's going to come along and miraculously heal you. It's not true. There's a lot of idiots out there that will say they can do this, but they're not being true, okay? They're not being real. And this is, like I say, this is from being brought up in the psychic field, and I was a kid growing up, and people like that, and so I've got a lot of experience in this business, you could say, of seeing what people are like, and a lot of them that get involved, it's not so much money, it's more attention based. It's a bit like people that you see nowadays. You see people on social media, for example, they're taking selfies all day, and one selfie of them and their boyfriend, and look so close, but then you're thinking, well, you're on the internet all day, darling. You're on the internet all day, so this is how close you are. And they expect people to believe that they've got some amazing intimate relationship. Well, they're never apart, but you're apart because you're always on the internet. I was in a cafe the other day, and this guy says to me he's an amazing relationship with this amazing Spanish woman. And I saw them both, and they were both couldn't get away from their phones. Most of the time they were speaking. I thought, oh my, this is supposed to be an amazing relationship. I'm very glad I'm not in one. Like I was saying yesterday, that this is the way it is for sleep. I say this all the time, that this is the way it is for sleep relationships, because there's neediness. But once you start going within and facing your issues like I did, and you're doing lots of healing, years later you start being in this meditative state, which is our natural state, by the way, and interacting with tantric life force, sensual, sexual creation energies. And this is what you start interacting with once you've done a lot of healing. And this is the way to do it. It's all within. If you've got a problem in a car, and it's not running, I don't drive, but if you've got a problem in a car, in a plane, you've got to go inside it, haven't you? It's the same with a person. Same with a dog. It doesn't matter what the animal is, you've got to go inside. Right? And that's what you've got to do. If someone's traumatized and in a state of shock, they're not able to do anything, really. The only thing they're faced with and they're thinking of is the problem in front of them. And the problem is staring them in the face in that moment. And the ascension and healing, this has come from someone I haven't had depression for nearly 5 years now, and this has been the way for me. And I've seen other people on YouTube who have had awakenings say the same things, or similar things. And yeah, I haven't had depression since the age of 28, and I don't drink alcohol now. I so much things I gave up, and because of the fact that these desires go away, because you're becoming happier within yourself, because you have a spiritual awakening. This is what happened, but then you're awakening to Gaia. This is like a separate awakening in itself. And this Gaia awakening is this tantric life force thing. And see, when what we're looking for in other people to make us happy, when we're in a lower vibrational relationship, is for them to make us happy, but it's a feeling within us that we're looking for, right? And that feeling is never satisfactory, because that's why people go, low vibrational beings go from one relationship to the other, and the other, and the other, and or have a kid, another kid, another kid, and just doing things to make themselves feel a little bit better, but it's never everlasting. And deep down, their spirit is looking for this life force. It's looking for this wholeness within, this satisfactory feeling. And this feeling happens through meditation. It happens through going within, ascension, healing, and then you access your life force energies, which is like wholeness within, which is it's mix of all different things. It's peace, it's orgasmic, it's creative, and you're creative because of the fact that you've healed so much. And as you heal, see, these unhealed parts are blockages for these energies. These energies are all there, but they're blocked off from dark energy. This is why the system has created a reality that is programming everyone. When you look around you, it's all, kids look on their smartphones all the time. It's all to program people and get them away from this divinity, because this is what would end the system as it currently is, you see. And this is, because once you're interacting with this, you're interacting with Gaia, you're not going to be conforming anymore. You're now really free, and you're believing in freedom. And you're not going to conform to the system version of freedom, which is not freedom at all. It's just repeating back what they say. And so this is how you access this. And this is why when people have a spiritual awakening and they're healing years later, or even after the awakening, but especially years later, they're not looking for anything external. And they change because they're interacting with this tantric life force energy. It's almost like the all that is has become your mate in a way. You've awakened to oneness, and you don't need any lover or any person or anything outside of you. All the love that you wanted in another person is all within. That's what we're always chasing anyway. That's when people are looking, like I said earlier, in another person, what they're looking for is a feeling within. They're looking for something that's going to make them feel whole within. So they might turn alcohol, they might have another child, they might have sex, all different things to escape, and they're looking for this satisfactory, never-ending thing. And this satisfactory thing is within you. It's this tantric life force, Gaia, the oneness, the divine consciousness. And this is what you're ascending to in awakening. And once you heal yourself and awaken, like I said, it's just going within. That's it. That's everything's within you. Once you start facing your own problems and understanding that everything, like I said earlier in the video, your perception is your reflection. But your perceptions have been molded since birth, but your perception, the way you see yourself, is how you see others as well. So when you realize this, you realize that the you that you think you are isn't the real you. And the way to change this is to start understanding that how you feel is being programmed into you. And as you're dealing with this more and more, you're accessing the true self. You're getting rid of neediness. And this neediness has been programmed into you, and then you're accessing the true self as you let go of this. The true self is just, to me, this infinite orgasmic life creation force, this infinite love with no neediness attached. This is why when people have, this awakenings and heal like this, they don't look outward, because all the love that you want is within you. And you'll just be in a state when you're in solitude and thinking, this isn't normal, I shouldn't feel this good. But I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Thank you.